of IP&E, or IPNE as we call it. I'm Charlotte Pierce. I'm your host, and I'm a former president and officer at the organization. I currently handle the regional groups for our 6-state region, the Independent Publishers of New England. So good morning, Eddie, and tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved in IPNE.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me, Charlotte. I got involved with IPNE because of you. I went to a conference in New Hampshire a few years back, and I was sitting at a table, and you were there having lunch with the rest of us, and we just started talking, and we kind of clicked, and things went from there. A few months after that, you asked me if I would be on the board. I still wasn't sure what IPNE was all about at the time, but I said, sure, I'll be on the board. And from there, I got on the board the following year and ended up as the president. And from there, we've been going forward ever since. I am the publisher at Encircle Publication. We publish mystery books, and now we're getting into literary fiction. And I also have a graphic arts business doing book covers and design work for self-publishing authors. But IPNE has become a big part of what I do and how successful we have been. We have the events that we do with and for IPNE have really paid off for Encircle Publications and for IPNE, so it's been really good.
Could you tilt your camera just a little away from the window? You're getting we are not getting the full benefit of your visage.
How's that?
That's a little better. Yeah, as long as it's not aiming at.
I'm in my living room right now, so it's.
Oh, okay. So as an independent publisher, you get to basically work where you want, right?
Yes, everything I do, I get to work. If I'm traveling, I can work in the hotel. If I'm at home, I can work in my living room, or if I can work in my office, anywhere, because everything is electronic and on my laptop.
Yeah, that's cool. I just, at this point in my life, I wouldn't have it any other way. I live in the Boston area, and I don't see, wanting to drive or commute anywhere, but this is my office too. This is my home. So,
Well, I live in the middle of nowhere in the woods of Maine. So,
never know it.
I'm in an area where it's 2 miles in on a dirt road, and I'm having success all over the internet. So it's a great thing.
How's your internet, service there? Is it pretty consistent?
I don't like it, but it is what I have to deal with right at the moment. I have a T1 line, which is a very slow internet compared to what the standard is in today's world. And it's a lot more expensive, but it is reliable. It's very reliable. I wish I had satellite, but in my area with the trees and everything, satellite isn't really too much of an option.
Right.
But there is a new high-speed service that has come to our town that I'm looking into that will alleviate that problem, but I haven't got it yet. Nice.
And as for getting back to IPNE, how do people? What's the philosophy of IPNE? Is it do you provide services, or I mean, I kind of know the answer to this, but the motto is collaboration, or where indies collaborate to make better books and sell more of them. So what does that collaboration mean?
Well, it means different things to different people. And how I answer this to new members that are thinking about joining or that have just joined is that you get what you put in. So if you want to be active, you get more out of it. And there is a lot of opportunity to network with people. So it all depends on what your goal is. IPNE as an organization is a trade organization for the publishing industry. We band together to learn from one another. We band together on doing events like the Boston Book Festival, the New England Library Association, the New Independent Bookstore Association conferences, and we co-op tables for that.
So I can send my book to the New England Independent Booksellers. How many bookstores will be there?
Hundreds. I don't know the exact number, but there'll be hundreds there. We'll have a table that we will co-op. There's a fee for members to put their book at the table. We're not allowed to sell, but we're allowed to speak to the people, obviously, that are coming to the table and try to promote members and IPNY as a whole.
And booksellers can order books, right? They can't just buy them.
They can order them, but they tend not to. That is what I have found.
It's kind of more of a relationship building.
Yes, it's more of a relationship building. What I recommend to the members that do go, that do want to show their book, if they're available, I say stop by, come by and talk to the bookstore owners. Take that day. We are able to buy badges for additional members to go in the exhibit area. Okay. And I recommend the hands-on.
So being there is very helpful if you have space for volunteers, right?
I think it's vitally important for people. I think
I'm going to send my author down. We have a new, let me see if I can find it. We have a new book. Yeah, it's this one, new children's book. Do you think children's books do well at NEBA?
I think children's books do well everywhere. But more so at the library event than at the bookstore.
Okay, good to know. How about the Boston Book Festival? What sells there? You can actually sell books there, right?
Yes, you can actually sell books. When we promote that for IPNY members, we ask for 5 books. What I found with the Boston Book Festival is that children's books do sell well, but what sells best is when you have author signings. We always do well at the Boston Book Festival as an organization, but individually, you're probably going to sell one to 3 books probably. There's almost always leftovers, unless you take a signing spot, which go fast because we're limited on how many we can have.
Yeah, I think I booked a signing spot because this book is just coming out, and I'm hoping
you did.
Yeah, great.
You did.
And my author's local too, so it's not
right. So that's really helpful on the sales. As an author or a publisher, going to the Boston Book Festival is very important because you get to walk around to meet other publishing industry people. There are other groups there that are worth going and meeting and introducing yourself to. But you're not, all of these events need to be looked at as a marketing tool, not necessarily as a profit center. You're not going to necessarily make a profit by going to these events. What you will do is make connections, and then that will turn into profit down the road. It's just
so
a matter of getting.
You have to take the long view, and it's not.
That's what I would tell a new member. Yes, take the long view. Don't. It's not something that you're going to automatically see return on. A lot of what we do when educating one another is to share stuff like that. Like we have 2 board members that swear by the New England Independent Booksellers Association. And not because they sold, it's because of what happened afterwards. They always saw improvement on their sales a month or 2 later.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily something you're going to get immediate results on.
So how do you make the most of a show like that besides being there in person? I mean, is it good to take pictures, do a blog post, things like that, or?
Well, I think for IPNY, not necessarily the members, but for IPNY, I think what what works best for that is to be able to show the bookstore owners and people that are selling books what independent book publishers are all about, and encourage them to embrace independent publishers.
So it's kind of like a holistic networking.
That
You might find some bookseller that's going to order your books. You might not, but
it's all about networking at these events. And that's why I like to try to get like this year we have 9 individuals that I got badges for. So there'll be 9 individuals going in and out that day.
Yeah.
But not only that, going to that show in person, you're also going to be able to walk around to other professionals in the industry. Like one of the things that I'm going to be looking for this year is a distributor. And there'll be a distributor somewhere at that event that I'll be able to discuss distributing our books.
Yeah, so I know you found a couple of good, like, were you talking about NEBA just now, or Boston?
Yes, New England Book. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I know you found an amazing contact at the Boston Book Festival a few years ago too, and it was.
I found a couple of people at the Boston Book Festival. I published both of them.
Yeah, nice. How many books do you have yourself?
I think if I had to, put a number at it right now, I think we're close to publishing 70 or 80 books at this moment.
Wow.
in 2 years.
Are you typical of an IPNI member, or what's the range of books that members publish? Are a lot of them solo authors, or what?
I am a unique member, I think, with the IPNI membership. Most of our members, not all of them, but most of those members are self-publishing authors. There are many that have published 2 or 3 books. There are many that have started their own publishing company. They started off as self-publishing just themselves, and then have, people request for them to publish them. But it's like 1 or 2. So there's a range. But I would say most of our members at this point are self-publishing authors who are trying to promote their own books and make something of it and learn the business.
And are we supposed to use the term self-publishing now? Is that acceptable, or does that still have a stigma to it?
Well, in my opinion, it still has a stigma to it. I use it because that's what everybody understands. I don't think there's a real good term. Independent publishing is another good term, I suppose.
But it's long.
It is. But what I tell authors that are interested in publishing their own work, they need to set up a publishing company name. And it doesn't have to be an LLC or anything like that. They just need to make their books not look like self-publishing.
And that's possible now because the technology is there. You just have to guard against slapdash production values and make sure you don't just hire your great aunt to do the proofreading. Right?
Well, I mean,
your great aunt may be great, but
well, if you're going to self-publish, you need to put the money behind it as well. You need to hire the professionals. I mean, unless you have that skill set, there are plenty of there are plenty of authors out there that have the skill set to do a lot of this themselves. But that said, if you're not in the business of publishing and you don't have that skill set to format properly or to do a book cover that is professional looking, you need to get a team together. And that team can consist of an editor, a designer, and a marketing person.
And is that something that IPNI can help with? Do you have a directory where I could find a proofreader, an editor, or somebody who's kind of got some vetting through the organization?
Well, I wouldn't go as far as vetting, but
Okay.
I would say that there is a resource on our site that you can see who has
Mhm.
those skill set, who is offering those services. I would not go as far as saying that we
Yeah.
would say that one person is better than the other.
Right.
We
Okay.
just don't do that. But you can get that information by being active and asking people who is good, who they can rely on,
So
and
showing up
controlling
at the
us.
events and you have we have a Facebook group as well. It's a closed group for members. I
Yes, we have a Facebook group, and we also have a public Facebook group.
mhm.
So you can always find us there, ask questions, and get
Yeah.
answers.
Okay, we have about 5 more minutes, but I wanted to touch on like who's on the board, who's behind, who's kind of running the organization now. Um, I've got the board page up from the website right now,
Okay.
and can you tell me a little bit about? Well, we heard about you, but how about the other people?
Well, I can't really give their backgrounds because I don't know them all off the top of my head.
Well, they're on
But
here, so I mean, people can read them. You work with Jack. He does
well, right.
mentoring.
Yes, I work with Jack. Jack has a company called Fictional Cafe, and he has been actively helping out with the conference, trying to get the bios of all the people that are speaking. We have on our conference on November 2nd, we
Mhm.
have 19 speakers this year, which is great, and we have a lot of really good speakers, so you should check that out. And then we have some members leaving. The next one I think on that list, oh no, yeah, Joanne.
Joanne.
She's leaving the board this year. She's not leaving IPNE. She still wants to help out,
Yeah.
but she is leaving the board. Stephen MacArthur, who owns Rootstock Publishing, he is very active on the board, and he's going to be doing some events with me this year,
Nice.
as of last year. So
Mhm.
he's been a very good asset for the board and is very knowledgeable. Bill Schubert has been an inactive board member. He hasn't had the time to put the effort into it at this point due to some personal issues. So
Yeah, but he's got a lot of great books out.
he
He's
does. He has a
amazing.
lot of great books, and he's an amazing man.
I've been on a couple of panels with him up in Vermont with the regional groups, and I love him so much.
He wanted to help out, but he
Yeah,
for reasons that
right. Okay, you don't need to go
life
into
life got in the way.
life got away. And
Yeah.
Ian is Ian Lamont leaving? He's
Ian, yes, Ian's
okay.
leaving because he needs to concentrate on publishing.
I know, duh. Yeah, that's kind of what I did too.
So he's leaving, but
But
again, another person who is still at, we will be able to reach out to and get some very valuable information. Ian is very,
yeah, he's always willing to help.
yeah, he
Such a
is
nice
very
guy.
great. He's great.
And he's won a lot of awards for his books. I know.
Yeah, no, and he knows a lot about Amazon and things like that. So he's someone you really want to know.
Maybe we should have him on for an Amazon. I want to do Amazon advertising and Facebook advertising, but I just don't know how to get started and where to spend my money.
Well, Ian's great for that, and so am I. So
yeah.
I can help you with that as well.
And are you soliciting new board members? Are you accepting nominations?
We're in the process right now of putting out requesting board members. We have done that a couple of times, so we're still doing it. The other board members, Bill Cardero, he owns a company. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. But he's the one who worked on the conference, setting up the hotel and things like that.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy. He's always willing to help and give advice. I know. So how do people get a hold of IPNE?
Well, the best way to get a hold of IPNE is go to our website, and there should be a link somewhere on that homepage where you can contact us. There you go.
Yeah, excellent. Okay.
And that will actually come to me. So I will get that email.
Perfect. And just the final thing, what's your relationship with IBPA?
IBPA is the national organization that we're an affiliation to. We're an affiliate of IBPA.
Okay. And do they have a lot of good resources, and or is there like a discount or something for
you can join IBPA with a discount if you're a member of us, and they have some great membership benefits that are better than ours because they're so big.
And they have a book awards coming up. I know. I think the first deadline is October 1st. I'm going to apply for that for this new book of Pierce Press, and it's a very well respected book awards. Would you agree?
The Benjamin Awards is very well respected in the industry.
Benjamin Franklin Awards.
Benjamin Franklin Awards.
So
that's something really good.
And the conference is November 1st to the 3rd, still available to, early bird registration ends September 30th. So we better get on that.
Yeah, what's going to happen is October 1st, it will go up $10.
These are amazing people. Wow. Cheryl Rich and Robin Cutler with Ingram Spark. She's amazing. I've seen her in an IBPA webinar, I think.
Yeah, Net Galley. We have a really good lineup, and I have to thank David for that. David,
he's awesome. Yeah,
Shang.
Yeah,
David Shang.
Oh, Jeff Meyerson from Harvard Bookstore is going to be on. Oh, good.
Yeah. So,
and we really
do have a good lineup this year.
And I'll be talking about the regional groups, which is my role, official role with IPNI now. But we're actually, like, if anyone's out there listening, we're trying to provide support for our regional groups, because this is a vast area. So we were willing to travel and send resources, and do photography and video of your author events. So join IPNI and take advantage of those events. We'd love to get this regional group network thriving and informing what our organization does. So any more thoughts on that? On
the regional groups?
The regional groups, yeah, sure.
On the regional groups, we had a call last night. We had a monthly call last night, and it came up in conversation. And we're looking for volunteers to start regional groups in every state, so that we can put on bi-monthly or monthly meetings where people can get together, even if it's just 5 or 6 people getting together talking about publishing.
Absolutely. And there is a article on the that I wrote on the website about how to how they're structured and how to get a hold of us to set one up.
Yes. So I think it's, that would be great for members, because I think there's a lot of questions that each member has. I mean, we were talking about advertising on Amazon last night, and the conversation went really well. I'm trying specifically, I was trying to find out information on how to advertise outside of the United States, and I've run into a little bit of a problem, but I told the members, once I figure it out, I will be sharing that information.
Yeah. Well, you've always been so helpful to me, and I really appreciate you being on here. We've gone over a little bit, but I think this is really helpful for people. Hopefully we can, package up the link and send it out to the membership and get some more groups going and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm going to share the link when I can. I'm going to share this link with a couple of our board members to get their take on what you and I just tried. This is the first time, so we'll see how this goes. Maybe they'll love it, and maybe we'll be able to do more of this.
Yeah, this is kind of I've heard that podcasting is the new blogging, and podcasting covers video and audio too. So we'll have both options.
Well, I can talk publishing all day long. As long as someone's throwing me questions, I can answer them. So
it's great. Been great talking to you, Eddie. And thanks again. We'll be in touch, and we'll do this again.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.